So, I got a lot of questions. So let's start here. So let's go back to the out of state show. Was that your first show? And if not, walk us through your first show. Was you prepared? Was you nervous? Was you in the back like Eminem on 8 Mile, or was you ready to go? Talk to me about that experience.
My first show.
In the mirror practicing for 2 days.
My first show was at the Forge in Joliet, Illinois, which it's a big spot for.
Paul Wall was just there not too long ago.
Yeah, it's a good music venue.
See,
That's where I've seen Dirk. That's where I've seen Herb. You know,
I'd
it
rather
is
go
motivating.
there instead of Indiana, just me personally.
Yeah, me too. But it's inspiring, you know, like even just being able to say, oh, I performed in the same building that Lil Durk has, like that's cool to me. So my first show ever, I did pay like $25 to perform, but
what?
I know it is what it is.
We're gonna talk about the investment
listen
part.
money and art don't mix. I'm gonna leave it at that. But
we're gonna have a conversation.
I know we have so much to talk about, but you know, I don't mind if there's 50 people showing up. I don't mind paying $25. You know, that's the same as going out to eat. Might as well spend it on something that's going to help me grow. I sang 2 songs. At that time, I thought the songs were good, and now to me, they're like my worst songs. But no, it was fun. People told me I had a natural stage presence. I was still, you know, not fully dancing on stage because you're still holding a mic and whatnot. But no, I had a great time. I was nervous. I didn't practice at all. Didn't have a routine ready. And just got it out the way. And then I meant to count before I came here how many shows I've done. But I think we're right around 7 to 9 shows. I have to count, but you know, we're still in the single digits. I've done 1 out of state show. Yeah, I have to think about it. But 1 out of state show, like 4 in Chicago, 2 in Joliet. I don't know. These are. I have to think back.
They have a lot of shows.
No, I haven't been to. My next goal, one of them, is to have a show in Milwaukee and then Indiana, just because Indiana's right there. Milwaukee's a great city. I love Milwaukee.
I got some family in Milwaukee. I don't know. I didn't know Milwaukee was in Illinois for a long time.
It's not in Illinois.
See, exactly.
It's in
Wisconsin. See?
It's
yeah.
okay. It's right there.
Scratch that out. See,
2 hours.
When we talk about I don't edit, but I might edit that out.
No, you're not. It's like 2-ish hours away. It's a good city.
Is it a huge difference from Chicago? Because I know a lot of people go from back and forth.
Smaller and
I know Chicago's a big city, but I mean, just as far as like the feel.
I mean, I've only been a few times.
Okay.
I only saw like the nightlife once, but like I've gone to a Bucks game. I've gone to like the museum out there. I've gone to a Brewers game. I'm a sport person.
I noticed that. Like, I love sport. That. I love sports.
That's a whole nother story because we skipped over that.
I actually took a job at White Sox just so I can watch the games. I was like a cashier, hot dog dude.
Passion.
That shit was dope.
Passion takes you a lot of places.
But I tried to get in United Center so bad they didn't call me.
I'm still trying, and shout out to all the sport teams that haven't hired me. But no, I was an athletic marketing intern in college and worked every basketball, baseball, softball, soccer game. We didn't have a football team at my college, but I haven't been able to find a job in the sport industry. And, you know, it is a little sad when you do care so much about something. And, like, I don't take it personal. I'm a woman. I'm 22. Like, I get why would you hire a woman when you can have someone who's played the game for 8 years plus,
and
10 years.
Of it is.
Right. So
it's who you know. A lot of it's who you know instead of what you know.
It is, sadly.
You know
and I try not to take it to heart. But, you know, I think eventually I don't care if I have to start at the bottom. Once again, I like trying different industries. I've been in sales, I've been in finance, I've been in management, I've been in operations. So I just like jumping around, trying new things, education. You know what I mean? So sports, I'm going to get that job one day. Just wait.
If you want it, you definitely going to get it. So, okay. So, yeah, you've done a lot in such a little time. And I don't want to do too much skipping around, but I think we're gonna set the music down for 1 second, and I just want to ask about the modeling. Did that coincide with you stepping out the box and doing the music as well, or was that something that you always had a passion for?
This is like a funny story, but at my high school, like when you're a senior, it was like a thing to get like senior portraits done, like, oh, you're about to graduate, like it's a milestone, you know. whatever, people were paying for like $300 photo shoots from like a professional photographer, and like my family couldn't like afford that, and like I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I was going to community college, so like one of my old teammates was just like, hey, like I'll shoot for you, we can just like go to this like forest preserve, and I was like, okay, cool, like I appreciate it. And like they turned out so good. We both were shocked, honestly, I think. That's in the dope. Moment, and I still like thank her to this day. Her name's Abby, and like I tell her all the time, like, you literally jump started my modeling career in my eyes, because that was like the first time I felt like fully confident, like not fully confident, but like that was like the first time like I was like, okay, like there's something more here that I can keep building off of, and other people saw it too, you know. So that transpired into just, you know, people reaching out to me like, wow, I love this photo you took, like can we do something like this? And they would send like a concept of like whatever, I can't even think of a concept right now, something with bubbles or something, like I don't know, that was a bad example, but and yeah, that's been running with that. And within the past year and a half, that transpired into runway modeling, which is actually like, I love that. I really love.
Was that something you was always practicing, or is that something you had to learn? Because from what I understand, that's just, you just don't go on there and walk. Am I wrong?
Once again, that's something that just fell into my lap that I wasn't expecting. Because, you know, models are tall, they're skinny, like, but the modeling industry has changed, you know?
The models that, I don't.
Right, like right. Victoria's Secret models, right. Like, that was always a thing. Like, you're just tall, skinny, and that's it, you know? So, even in health class, like, in high school, I remember them saying, like, eating disorders, like, whatever. They just, like, called out models who were tall and skinny, and, like, I was like, I don't know, like, short and stubby, but same thing, just like kind of fell in my lap. Had a few opportunities. I'm walking in a show next weekend I'm super excited for a model I hold close to my heart. The brand's called Exclusive Habit. She went to my high school, Desiree, and this is my
habits
exclusive.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Okay.
But no, like she's given me 2 opportunities, and like to me, anyone who gives me an opportunity, I always try to repay in some way, shape, or form. Like I always let my appreciation be shown. Like I will forever thank you in some way, like even if it's in the future, I don't care. But I'm super excited for that. And as for the walking, it is like a learned skill, but I also think some of it is just having it. Like you have to just, some people have it, some people don't. If you can't strut, if you can't, like I always just was able to walk in heels. Like sometimes I feel like I could when I was like 4, but you just have to, some people have it, some people don't. You go to a different headspace, the same as a performance, the same as a whatever, let's say it's just a performance. You're putting on a show. Same thing as anything in life. A sports performance, a music performance.
I mean, you make it sound easy, but you're kind of walking into my next question.
It's hard.
With you having 8 or 9 shows under your belt and then walking in front of people, doing modeling, was it always easy to be in front of these big crowds? And I know that you speak on doing a car salesman, you getting to interact with people every day, but that's different. That's
different.
1 per 2, maybe
right.
3 people at a time, but now you got hundreds of people looking at you at one time. Is that something that you have to work on? Or is that always easy for you to do? Because one person be looking at me and be like,
right. I would say even since middle school, I would say in middle school I was like not the class clown, but like I was just goofy, like not like being the center of attention, but like I just like being in the mix, you know, like I wanted to be around whoever was, you know, causing commotion or whatever. But no, cheer, like I said, cheer and track really shaped me so much. Cheer, you're performing in front of a crowd of, honestly, I think I've performed in front of thousands before, like at state and stuff. Like It is a big crowd. You're surrounded from the front and the sides. And then even behind you, there's judges. So you kind of have to block out everything happening around you. And get in that zone. And I think that's the same for any sports. People are like, how does Curry perform under pressure? And this is a skill. It's practice. It's being used to that habitat and adapting to what's going on around you. So same thing with runway walking. You know, every model's different. Some people look straight forward and don't lose gaze of, you know, where they're walking, and some people kind of like use their eyes to advantage and like, I wouldn't say like scope the room, but walk with their eyes. So like, I don't know, I've always loved public speaking. So let me backtrack a little bit. Oh my gosh, I go so off topic, but
that's a big thing, public speaking.
Public speaking is really my passion. Like,
I was
that
not expecting
teaching
that.
is a form of that, you know. You're preaching to a group of 30 kids. It's something about commanding the room that I love. Like, I don't know how to explain it really, but when I lost my train of thought. Oh, public speaking. I'm going off topic, but whatever. I need
to hear this because
this is a good story.
I shrink in big rooms.
It's definitely a practice. Like, I remember in middle school, like science fair, hated speaking. I was so nervous. What I learned is you have to be confident in what you're talking about. Same thing with music. If you're not confident about what you're presenting and singing, of course you're gonna be nervous, jittery. Obviously nerves are good, but the first time I was like, wow, like I can hold the crowd is actually my senior, was it junior or senior? It might have been junior year of college. I had a speech class, and we only had like 3 speeches that year because then COVID happened, whatever. It was like the last speech of the year. It was like, I think it was an informative speech, and I chose like to do my topic on adoption. And whatever, everyone has a different format, how they start, how they end, what they include. I had people crying, and like the amount we had like a little sheet giving feedback, positives, pros and cons of your presentation, and they were I can never say it,
anonymous.
Yep.
Okay.
I can never say it.
No, because I suck at shit like that. I'm glad I was able to help you out right there.
But it was that word, and like the feedback was it was really life changing, because I was like, wow, like I was able to captivate the crowd and actually make them feel something. And that was like another turning point for me, where I was like, words are so powerful, and like everything relates back to music in a way. And even with modeling, it relates back to music. You're putting on a show, you're wearing your outfit, fashion, you're presenting everything's connected. And that speech really had me, you know, contemplating even my career choices, like what I wanted to apply for jobs after college. Like, I knew I needed to be in the public eye. I just had to figure out where, and that's something I'm still kind of struggling with. Is, yes, social media presence is important, which I'm like in the midst of right now, because I honestly hate social media. But if you have the voice for it or the content for it, everyone's do it, da da da, make money off this, da da da. And it's just, I'm honestly the complete opposite. It's like, I just post what I want and I go. Like, I don't care who likes it, I don't care how many likes I get. I just like sharing what I've learned, and hopefully it helps someone else. And that's what it comes down to.